on EA Sports, where we'll see a brawl inside the NFC North. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. All that and more coming up next.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today it's a black and blue matchup in the NFC North between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. To the NFL on EA Sports. With me as always, Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here we go with the Packer offense guided by their decorated QB with a long list of Pro Bowls and other accolades next to his name, of course. Aaron Rodgers leading the way.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who would go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
Rodgers going to the air to start things out. And his first look is incomplete.
Oh man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sign of relief, no doubt, on offense, and that fell harmlessly to the ground. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. There's Rodgers to throw. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with a little gain.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Rodgers now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Smart enough to avoid the taunting rule. Guaranteed, quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. Fair catch signal for it and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl and came really within 1 quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
for this Lions offense. Set for a 1st and 10. Just shy of the 30. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
First down, and they go with Swift again. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
All runners counting their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There's absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging running the football now. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
One of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. From the gun, here's Goff. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Trial keeps moving.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, Goff. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. On 2nd down, Swift. And inside the tray before he's brought down. 11 yards there on the line, 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
Looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Once again, it's Swift. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Ran his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're situation.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on third. Goff. This is caught and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and it sets up the first and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on third down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a first and goal.
Here we go now on first and goal. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he will find his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Jamal Williams, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end and come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. The defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead at 7-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was Jamal Williams who ended things with a touchdown run. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On first and 10, here's Rodgers. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, first and 10.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Jet sweep. Here's Watson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Defensively, they have that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. It finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 32-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And the Packers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. And again, it's Rodgers. Being chased out left. And he'll just chop this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Jones. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
It's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defenses only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. And it's a Packers touchdown. Aaron Rodgers finding Christian Watson. And the Packers are an extra point away from drawing runner. A nice connection there, finding his target. And that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw for the defense. They have no answer for that right there.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was all capped off by a touchdown catch from Christian Watson. So we'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of two play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
What's going on in the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
Now Goff on first down. He's got it to Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed throw route.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now Goff. That one complete. He finds Sharp. They'll go for a gain of 7. And that will bring up second down. Goff, a handoff here to Swift. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43.
I do know from experience, when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
There you go, Ferguson. That's some old school football right there. You need 1 yard? Give it to your bruiser fullback and let him get the job done.
First downs have them up near midfield now on first and 10. Here's Goff. His throw incomplete.
This could be a start of a nice stand for this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here and have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in position to dictate to the offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now Goff. Across the middle, he's got it complete to St. Brown. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Goff on third down. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he's going to have the Lions first down. And he was able to get him on a play for a gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coaches' 2-minute.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the ball. They can only do so much. On this play, he took him to the limits. Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take what you can get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Here's Goff. And incomplete here to bring up fourth down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from a long distance. This from 54 yards away. Badgley able to punch this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that. But let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up the touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Now is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Nixon now from his end zone.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Packers with a football here late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down and trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Rodgers.
They'll complete this one to Watson.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for the offense.
Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Rodgers. Flushed out right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. Give him 9 yards on the scramble there, but it does leave him still a few inches shy of the 3rd down limit.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Rodgers going to throw. Over the middle, it's complete.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that one, that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
Level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. Jackson now to return. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
Well, indeed, try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everyone to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando and the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Packers in that first half. And in a tie ball game, they've got to be asking themselves, what can we do to get this passing game on track for the second half to come? Meanwhile, for the Lions, we get a look at their numbers on the ground in that first half, as they'll be looking to rev things up here in a tie ball game.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
To get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here, so get this up to the 29. The Lions offense now with the football first here to begin quarter number 3. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Goff on first down. And that is incomplete here.
That certainly appeared to be a play call. They were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Here's second and 10 now from the 29. Goff now to throw.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Call that one for me there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a bit more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Now it's gone. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It goes as a gain of 8 and moves the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And a good burst there gets him 7 back to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the 50, it's Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. And he's got his man. It's caught for a line touchdown. Jamison Williams, 50 yards. And the Lions have broken on tie as they take the lead. When you think of guys that are built to be big-arm quarterbacks, Jared Goff, he fits that mold, and he showed it off right there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will like the crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And a next-gen stat saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown. They will send this one away. Nixon now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he'll power his way out near the 25. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he's going to have the Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operated.
Well, you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
trying to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
What we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play. The person would try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. That's complete right side to Lazard. And he'll only get this to around the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10
at their own 14-yard line.
They'll start on the ground with Swift.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Right back to Swift again on second down.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
50 yards rushing for him now, and what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
And then we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps, you don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Down, it's gone. That'll be caught by St. Brown. Let's go to completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Gone. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he is going to have the Lions 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it, and were able to keep the drive moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 yards there to the line, 1st down.
You use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Right back to him on 1st down.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
3 quarters in the books. The return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding on to the football. They also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Now a second down and 6. Swift going to try up the middle. And he's got this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Packers' 40-yard line.
Like a guy who understands the situation, also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
That's out to the flat for Swift. And he's going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought they were going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
On first down, gone. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the head enough until they stop him. Why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing again on second down. Goff. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 13-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. From the 13 now, they work on first and 10. From the red zone now, Goff. Well, man, and he hits him in stride. And in for the Lions touchdown. Jared Goff connected with DJ Chark. And the Lions have opened up a 2-touchdown lead in this fourth quarter. And that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me to that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point by Badgley up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Take it in at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. First and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a first and 10, just shy of the 30. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Rodgers, caught by Cobb. Rodgers to Cobb, good for the Green Bay first. In the fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
First down carry by Jones. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. That's a rumbling over.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field.
Well, then come out and take a look at him. We will step aside for just a moment.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
The offense was moving a little bit out and back on their heels, but they had a brief pause, forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try not to stand before they're backed up even further.
Complete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought they had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Rodgers now to throw. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 19. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now a throw in the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. To throw is Rodgers. And he's got it. Touchdown. Aaron Rodgers finding Christian Watson. And the Packers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
after the touchdown. Here's Crosby to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. There's Goff. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Goff now looks to throw. Man open, and St. Brown has got it. And he's going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On the handoff, this is Swift. And blocked down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Whistles now in a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. They'll likely put an end to this thing. This is Swift on the counter. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Goff now to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind, while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So now Rodgers in the pack. Down 24-17. 90 seconds remaining. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers to throw. Open this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 30 yards.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. Back to throw, Rodgers. He's got Tunyon complete over the middle. And he's going to be taken down about the 33. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
First down now, but that clock rolling. To throw is Rodgers. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line. He'll look to throw. He'll find Jones again, complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 17-yard line. This one came right down to the wire, and it's even one final chance to try to navigate their way into the end zone, but couldn't get it done to avoid the loss.
Yeah, and how about the defense there? Because while they had one final look at the end zone, the defense made sure they knew what they were doing on the last play, executed it flawlessly, and no flags. Because remember, if there's a defensive penalty, there's one play left in the game that the offense gets. They didn't allow that to happen.